Hello again, and we're here on top of our museum Jeep today to discuss one of the artifacts in our collection, the M-1 helmet. This helmet is iconic. It was in service, let's see here, I consult my notes. This helmet was adopted by the United States Army in approximately 1941 to replace the earlier M1917 helmet, the quintessential doughboy helmet of World War I. This one provided improved ear and neck protection as opposed to earlier helmets from shrapnel. Now bear in mind this helmet is not a ballistic helmet. It was only designed to protect from shrapnel from indirect or mortar fire. This particular example here is set up in a 1944 configuration. It has the M1944 mesh net, which was designed as two folds, designed to kind of reduce the shine of the metal when it was wet and also to put foliage in for camouflage. Also has this retention band. Now this helmet is interesting that it's a two-part system. It has an outer steel shell, and it has this fiberglass cover which comes out, and this is actually fitted to the soldier's head with this retention system. It's actually fiberglass, and this was often worn in parade or rear settings. This would often be polished or painted and used for ceremonial use, particularly in the post-war occupation of Germany by the military police would have this polished and have the MP insignia and stripe painted up along the side. But this is for combat use. This was what was fitted into the helmet. Ballistic protection of the helmet is from this pressed steel shell. You can see the net on it fits in. Basically, the liner fits in through tension. Basically, it snaps in place. I'll put that back in just so you can see how it looks. Excuse the camera work. I'm working on my own here at the moment. Now, for the armed forces of the United States in total, by 1945, approximately 22 million of these were produced. And then again, I believe in 1966 and 1967, the second production run of approximately 1 million were made. There's no distinction between the post-war and the wartime production. Both saw service all the way up through the end of the helmet's life in 1985. Now, coming over here, we have one in a slightly different configuration. This one is approximately from the post-Vietnam era all the way up through the late 80s when the helmet was retired. It has, again, a retention band, but this time it has a woodland camouflage cloth cover with these small slits in it designed for placing vegetation in it for camouflage. This was designed for primarily NATO operations and European theater operations, hence the three-color woodland camo pattern. But again, the liner really hasn't changed much. This example actually has its chin strap. The other one didn't. During the World War II period, in the field chin straps were optional. There was actually a belief during the World War II period, going back here a moment, that if you had your helmet strapped to your head and a shell landed near you, the concussion would supposedly take your head off if the helmet was retained, because it would get underneath the helmet. This actually turned out to be false advertising per se. It didn't actually happen that way, but there was a widespread enough belief to the point where several examples we have do not have the chin strap because the soldiers didn't actually wear them. Some did, some didn't, but like I said, it was a common belief. And several veterans have backed up with their stories from the field. Coming back to this one, this is a lady's example, has improved two-part chin strap. The earlier one simply went underneath the chin. This one actually splits to surround the chin, provide better support. Both in this period and in earlier, there was an airborne variant of this. Unfortunately, we do not have an example out here that had, in addition, a leather chin cup to help retain the helmet on the head during parachute operations. Now, this helmet saw service, as I said, from 1941 all the way through 1985, when it was replaced or phased out in favor of the Personal Armor Support Ground Troops helmet, or Kevlar helmet, which provided better ballistic protection than the metal did. This helmet was versatile. Soldiers used it. They would take the liner out. This could be used for an emergency entrenching tool because of the sharp metal lip, or it could even be used to cook food out of. This is actually, ironically enough, the U.S. Army Ordnance Department mentioned this actually ballistically weakened a number of the helmets. Heating the steel under low heat in a campfire or so forth to cook something in would actually weaken the metal and weaken the ballistic protection of the helmet. But a lot of soldiers did it anyway, simply because it was handy. Field expedient, as they call it. Putting that back in. Matter of fact, a lot of the old timers I talked to today say, like, they missed that you couldn't do that with the new helmets. impromptu pot, impromptu latrine, impromptu wash basin. You can put warm water in here, wash out of it, and of course, what was intended for, not ballistic protection, but anti-fragmentation protection from overhead shrapnel. You just get a quick look at that. Now we have any number of these at the museum. Sorry to be so dry, but like these are the two main examples we have here from the period. Like I said, 1944 approximately. The helmet may not necessarily be 1944, but does have a period M-1944 net with retention band, and then of course the later one with the woodland cover. That's it all for now. I mean, this is one of our several items in our collection. You know, you got contact details will be posted in a link on the site, and we thank you for watching.